Good evening, Hattiesburg. It's Toby Barker, and thank you for joining us so late. I come to you tonight to update you on the prevalence of coronavirus in our community, to tell you about further steps we are taking as a city to safeguard the public's health, and most importantly, to ask for your help. In the past 3 days, we have seen the number of cases in our community nearly triple, going from 5 presumptive positive test cases in Forrest County to 14, with an additional 2 in Lamar County. Statewide, the growth of positive cases, while expected, is still alarming. As of this evening, we have the 12th highest infection rate in the country, up to 320 cases. We know more positive cases are coming. There are still well over 100 pending tests between Forrest General, Hattiesburg Clinic, and Merit Health Wesley. Dozens of people are being tested every day, and what we hope is the logjam clears in the next several days in processing those tests. We know there will be many more positive cases coming. Over the past few days, we have continued to work through strengthening our city's social distancing efforts with the goal of individually and collectively limiting in-person contact to try and slow the spread of COVID-19. I want to thank our restaurants for transitioning their services to takeout, pickup, and to-go and drive-through services. That move did not come easily, and I appreciate it. Governor Reeves issued the same order for the entire state earlier this evening. As we anticipate growth in our number of positive cases, and as we try to think through what our next steps will be in policies that can help reduce person-to-person contact, we have begun the hard process of making decisions regarding essential and non-essential enterprises. For that guidance, we look to Governor Tate Reeves, who just a couple of hours ago issued Executive Order 1463 that defined essential business or operation, and you can find that executive order on our website at hattiesburgms.com/coronavirus. But tonight we issue a third executive order to take further steps to slow the spread of COVID-19 in our community. Our job as a city is to set a framework where we can best provide public health for our community while still providing our economy the space to operate creatively. As part of this effort, our team, along with the Forrest County EOC, our medical community, and Forrest County, will try to think through and try to problem solve where those spots are where people are prone to be in close proximity to one another. And if you drive around Hattiesburg over the last 7 to 10 days, the place where we are seeing the most people in lines crowded around one another is at the grocery store, the dollar store, the building supply store, the pharmacy. While none of these are as crowded as last week, there have been moments when our stores, maybe not overwhelmed, but certainly more crowded than desired during a pandemic. Toward this end, we have met with many of our local grocery stores, dollar stores, pharmacies, and building material stores and asked for their active assistance in doing even more to promote social distancing at these essential retail facilities. I appreciate so much their collaboration and input on these guidelines because they recognize slowing the spread will be a team effort. So here's what stores are agreeing to do going forward. First of all, gas stations, laundromats, automotive, bicycle repair shops, liquor and beer stores, we are strongly recommending that they go to 10 or fewer customers in the building at one time. But our grocery stores, dollar stores, convenience stores, pharmacies, and hardware and building material stores will implement systems to limit access to a certain number of customers at one time in the store. This limit will correspond to the square footage in their sales areas. Guidelines for these ratios will be sent to each store, and these systems are scheduled to go online no later than this Thursday, March 26th. In fact, we want to thank those who have proactively done this on their own and agreed to do this. The Little Butcher Shop on Veterans Memorial started doing this last week. Sam's Club started doing it this morning. And we know that our local grocery stores will also start doing it tomorrow, and we appreciate their partnership. Furthermore, they have agreed to not allow lines to form outside their entrance. When the doors open, people will still be at their vehicles, and then they will come into the stores. They have also agreed to create at least 6 feet of space between customers in and around checkout lines to promote social distancing to keep people from clustering near the cash registers. Another place, again, thinking through where people congregate, is formalizing what many of our financial institutions have already done. And that is recommending to the remaining financial institutions that have not done to close their building's interior and make it available only by appointment only. They can still provide services in drive-thrus like many of our banks are doing, but for our insurance, payroll, and other financial institutions deal with investments, we're strongly recommending that they only allow people into the interior of their building by appointment. This executive order, which takes effect tomorrow and runs until April 30th, also addresses some of the non-essential retail establishments in Hattiesburg going forward. We fully recognize the cost of shutting off economic activity. We take these sorts of decisions very seriously. And since this started, we knew sacrifices would have to be made, and we knew there would be some real economic damage done. There are many people whom this pandemic will affect in a real and costly way. These are costs that must be acknowledged. Those are the individuals and families who will be making huge sacrifices for the public health of our community. With that said, for those services that require close human contact, that enhance the potential for unnecessary exposure, namely nail salons, tattoo parlors, spas, and massage parlors, those will close. Barbershops and hair salons may continue to operate by appointment only. The barber, cosmetologist, stylist, or other practitioner must wear personal protective equipment to cover his or her mouth, and there shall be no available sitting area for waiting customers. And there shall be a maximum of one customer per building in the building at one time. Non-essential retail, like sporting goods, clothing stores, florists, furniture, auto dealers, not including the body shop and the shop department, shall limit access to those stores to either curbside service, pickup sales, or by appointment only. Again, understand that we do not take these things lightly. We don't do them because other places are doing them. We are trying to employ Hattiesburg solutions for the public health of Hattiesburg. But know this: we as a city can set policies that hopefully lead to good collective outcomes of flattening the curve. But the ultimate success of whether we slow the spread of coronavirus in the Hattiesburg community depends on you. You ultimately decide on whether or not you make good decisions with your health and with the health of those you come into contact with. The reason that the city acts in the form of policy and executive order, acts that have devastating consequences for your fellow citizens, the reason we do that is to enable you to make better decisions. COVID-19 is dangerous. It is a threat to the lives of our people. This isn't just an old person's disease. There is an alarming trend in our nation right now in terms of COVID-19 related hospitalizations. 20% of hospitalizations are from those between the ages of 20 and 44, and nearly half of all those admitted to intensive care units are under the age of 65. Just 90 miles to our south are individuals in their 30s with no previous health issues that are dying because of COVID-19. If we do not act, this virus will eventually overwhelm our healthcare system. Many people will get sick. Many will recover, but some will not. You have a part to play in keeping us from getting to that worst case scenario. I need you, I'm asking you to stay home. Do only what is essential and then go home. I know this is uncomfortable and it's disruptive. I know that pandemic fatigue is already setting in. But this threat isn't one that we can see. It isn't one that comes quickly and within a week or two it's gone. Slowing the spread of this disease will stretch us and demand that we make months-long changes to our habits and lifestyle. But it is the mark of a great community when that community, our community, comes together, or in this case stays apart, to overcome a challenge for each other. May we be that community. Thank you.